will explain to you about our model, sir.
Sure, sir.
Sir, we are CIPACA. Probably you would have gone through the social media, our website, you know the basic stuff. We are specialized in setting up ICUs. But how do we set up ICU is a science which we have learnt it over a period of a decade of research into the rural India. We do this based on 3 principles. The first principle, number 1, is principle of partnership. Okay. Principle number 2, principle of sustainable development. And principle number 3 is called principle of shared economy. These 3 things for you, if I tell like this, you may think that I'm randomly picking up some words from the from the net and talking, but these are very, very, very powerful words. You might have observed that Modi ji uses these words. Even World Health Organization uses these words. Sustainable growth is a powerful word. Companies like Apple, Amazon, they talk about these words. I will explain to you right now what it is. I said about partnership. See, CIPACA is not a HR organization. For example, we don't provide just 2 doctors or 3 doctors or some nurses for you to operate. It doesn't work like that. I'll explain to you why. When we began our services, we as a team of doctors, I started my career when I completed my my career. My graduation was from Andhra. So from Tirupati I completed my MBBS. Then I did my MD in pulmonary medicine. Then I did my DM in critical care. I went to UK. I did my fellowship in UK in critical care. I also hold FRCP from Edinburgh. After that, I came back and started my practice in one of the corporate hospitals, top corporate hospitals in Chennai as a consultant. When we were doing as a group, as a practicing doctors, myself along with some of the colleague consultants, we were bombarded by requests from hospitals in and around Chennai, asking for support in ICUs. We initially started providing doctors, only consultants. Then we started providing duty doctors. Then we started providing nurses. Then entire operations. Sometimes we did only tele-ICU. Some places we did even rental models.
Okay.
You don't believe we would have spent at least $10 million on learning which method works, which model works for the hospitals. The major problem with the hospitals is, I'm not demeaning that, the owner of the hospital is a doctor most of the times, and he is already drowned in his practice. He may not have the required business acumen to take the hospital from 30 or 40 beds to 100 beds. They need support on that. When they want to put their finger in everything, they want to guide everything, there is a possibility that there is a possibility of failure is there. This is what we identified. When you provide doctors and nurses and say this is the cost, the owner should have the basic business acumen to make this ICU to become a profitable ICU, also the hospital to profitable hospital. That is when we realized that no, the ecosystem of hospital is not about ICU. ICU is yes, but internally, why does he want ICU? Why do you want ICU?
Where I can provide more.
Why do you want to provide more?
To make more.
That's it.
Exactly.
More business.
Business, yes.
It's actually a subconscious choice of the owner of the hospital. They see that my growth is blocked because of lack of ICU. It's not that you like to have an ICU. You find that ICU is a means to grow into the next level of hospital. So actually, the problem statement of hospitals which seek ICU is actually business growth. From 30, 40, 50 or 20 bedded hospital, they want to become 100 bedded hospital. Isn't it?
Yes.
And you see that lack of ICU is one of the reasons why you are not able to move to that level.
You're right. Like for 10 years, like we are still 30 bedded. Like we haven't grown. Like
Don't worry. I know hospitals where they have been there for 40 years, 50 years, they are still 30 bedded.
Okay.
Okay. They don't grow. They never have grown. And the owners have been sitting, practicing from morning to night, thinking that that is the growth. That is where we come into picture. Our entire research has gone into that. Now coming back, question comes here. Why a hospital cannot have an ICU? Isn't it? ICU operations. Why they cannot have? Just now you told me, your problem is not about monitors or ventilators or infrastructure. Your problem is about manpower.
Exactly.
Am I correct?
You're right.
No. Sir, when I talk about principle of partnership, this is where my question comes. Why an organization cannot grow? That is the question. You cannot grow when there is no standardization. Simple as that. We may not understand it at the beginning. I will explain you why. You are in a rural place.
Yes.
Okay, right, very good. Now, you want to construct a hospital. You want to buy cement and bricks. It is standardized, no? Any company cement is the same, no?
Same. Yes.
Any company brick is the same size, no? It's made of the same thing. Your steel that you put inside, construction, architecture, whether you build in Chennai or in Washington or here, it is the same, no?
It is the same.
Okay, now you are buying cots. Every single cot is 3.5 into 6. Same, no? 4 wheels only, no?
Yes.
Standardized, no? Third thing, you want to buy CT scan, ultrasound, MRI, same, no? Standardized, no? Is there a difference between Chennai and your place if you buy CT scan?
No.
Same, no?
No difference.
Ventilator, you buy there or here, same, no? This is called standardization. You give money and you get service is called standardization. Okay, now, even go to the lab tests. You put blood and you want liver function test. Whether you do it in Chennai or in your place, result is the same, no?
Same. Yes.
Standardized, no? You buy meropenem, whether it is in Chennai or your place, drug is the same, no?
Yes.
So, pharmacy, lab, radiology, construction, infrastructure, equipment, including electronic medical records, softwares, billing, everything is already standardized. You give money, you get it, service. The service you will get equal, whether it is in city or in rural area, it is the same, no? But you give money, you are not getting ICU manpower to operate, no?
Exactly.
Which means that is not standardized. Not only ICU, many departments are not standardized. That is the main problem. This is the problem statement of rural hospitals. If you define problem statement, you have solution. This is where we come into picture. CIPACA does ICU operations.
Okay.
That is what is standardized for CIPACA. Simple example I can tell you, Uber. What does Uber do? You have a car, Uber comes, it has got software, it knows how to keep the drivers, how to engage them, how to operate with them. Same, CIPACA takes the infrastructure of the hospital, it operates profitably. That is what we do.
Just create a system.
Yes, create a system equally everywhere. You know, when Uber was not there, supposing you travel to Chennai, you want to take a cab, you will be worried. Which there are, let us say, tens and fifties of cab companies. Somebody will have 2 cabs, somebody will have 10 cabs. Now each person will have his own way of operating the cab. What about security? What about money? It is like auto, you have to bargain every time. There is no standardization, isn't it? Now Uber came, it has standardized everything. You go to Chennai, you go to Delhi, you go to Hyderabad, you take Uber, you know how it goes. Same way, wherever you go to CIPACA ICU, it is the same. That standardization is what we brought to the table. Now, this is now called principle of partnership, mutually beneficial partnership. Now, when we both partner, anyone partners with the strengths that they have, isn't it? So, what do you bring to the table? You don't need us to support you on equipment, no? You put money, you will get it. You already have a 30-bedded hospital. After all, another 10-bedded ICU you can always organize. So, that is your strength. You have been there in your place for last 10 years. You have patients. That is your strength. Your weakness is you can't operate ICU. You don't know how to make it into a viable or develop the business is what is your problem. That is where we come into picture. We do only 2 things. Number 1, operational excellence in ICU. Number 2, business development. So these 2 we bring to table. Remaining you bring to table. What you have, you bring. what we have we bring. That is where we go for a mutually beneficial partnership. That is why we don't do manpower supply, we don't do rental models, we don't do tele-ICU kind of stuff, we don't do take payment and provide people type of models. We do partnership model. Again, why? Because when you are running your own place, you may not have the required acumen to operate it. It is again, I am telling you, who runs the cabs in Uber? Uber runs, not the owner of the car.
Yes.
Same thing, we operate it. That is what we do. Now, when we come into the picture, what do? Once we come, we invest approximately 1 crore of rupees on the hospital.
Okay.
And we invest only on the operations and business development. Again, we don't need to invest on you for buying equipment. No, that is already standardized. Okay. You know how to do it. The rest of the thing is what we run. Tell me one thing. If you have to operate a 10-bedded ICU, for example, doctors, nurses, technicians, counselors, billing people, admin people, security, laundry, and then electricity, water. So from top to bottom, if you want to operate the entire ICU, how much do you think it will cost? In our experience, it will cost at least 12 lakhs.
12 lakhs, okay.
Okay, so it's not about just manpower. Every single thing, whether you operate it or we operate it, it will cost 12 to 15 lakhs is what it operates. As far as the Chennai standards concerned, see, people may keep 2 or 3 junior doctors. Sometimes they keep non-allopathic doctors and they want to operate. It's a different story. But if you want to have a standardized ICU, this is the amount that is usually incurred. So when we come, we spend the entire money. So which means from out of pocket for us will be at least 10 to 12 lakhs on the ICU. And from the hospital side, 0. The owner has to actually rest, leave it to us to operate. You concentrate on your area of expertise, your surgeries, develop your hospital. We develop the ICU. That is how we come into picture. That is why we partner. Some people ask me, why don't you take rental and do? I'll explain you for that. Now what we do is, when we choose a hospital, at the board level, our people told us, as I told you, there are 50,000 hospitals already existing. At the board level, we have taken a decision, our people, said that when we choose a hospital, let us not choose a hospital which is already asleep, which means there is no emergency patient coming into hospital at all.
Okay.
Whereas they said that find a hospital where there is at least 1 or 2 patients a week are getting admitted, which means at any point of time you have at least 1 patient in the ICU, which means our people told that at a board level to find a hospital which is like a walking baby. It is not a newborn baby. Okay, so which means that we expect the hospital has a turnover of a bare minimum of 6 lakhs of business must be there in that hospital to begin with. Of course, as per the number,
we already make it. Yes, we already.
According to your numbers, you are actually having 30 lakhs of whatever it is. So the numbers say that at least 6 lakhs of business must be. That is one tick box for us.
Yes.
When we enter. The reason is, if there is at least 6 lakhs of thing is coming, remaining 6 we put and run. End of 1 year, we will be putting almost 72 lakhs, 6 into 12. Usually break even happens by almost 1.5 to 2 years time. Because after 6 lakhs, whatever comes in the ICU, both of us will share.
Okay.
Now you see, let us say this month 6 lakhs. Your side it is 0, our side it is minus 6. 10 lakhs we are making. 10 minus 6, 4 lakhs. Plus 2, minus 4. 15 lakhs we are making. 15 minus 6 is 9. Plus 4.5 minus 1.5. Okay, 20 lakhs. 20 minus 6, 14 lakhs. Plus 7, plus 1. Okay, so this 20 lakhs usually for a new ICU, it takes at least 1.5 to 2 years time to make. Okay. I am talking about ICU. Your 30 lakhs came from ward, emergency, OT, that is your money. We talk only about ICU. Even when ICU becomes 80% occupancy and when you become, 30 lakhs of turnover is coming. Okay, ICU is full, 30 lakhs is the turnover. 30 minus 6, 24, plus 12, okay, plus 6, because 6 extra. Even in that, sir, when you are making 30 lakhs of turnover and ICU is full, with 12 lakhs you can't operate. Your operational expenditure will be more.
Exactly.
At least 10,000 more per day, which means another 3 lakhs. So, in our experience, because we have been there in the system for last 5 years, in our experience, when it becomes even 30 lakhs, we spend 15 lakhs. So, at this point of time, you are at plus 12, we are at plus 3. We don't bother about it because the secret of our business is we do it at 100 places. Okay, when you are at 30 lakhs of business, of course, here you are getting 12 lakhs, in ward, OT and other things you get 30 lakhs, we get only 3 lakhs, doesn't matter. When we do it at 100 places, we are at 3 crores. That is how we calculate, sir. But as far as your hospital is concerned, the ratio should be 1:10. If we are earning 1,000 rupees, you should get 10,000 rupees. If we get 1 lakh, you should get 10 lakhs. That's the equation. This is what is called sustainable growth. Supposing, now I will just turn the table. Supposing we have taken rental model from you. Now you will be very happy because you don't need to.
I don't know, that is what I was thinking. I don't have to do anything.
You just rent it out.
Exactly.
We will do all the work. You don't need to think of even 6 lakhs, bare minimum of business and all. Sir, but what will happen after 2 years? We will be making 30 lakhs of turnover. You will get 3 lakhs. Remaining we will take.
No.
Will you be happy with that?
No.
No one will be happy.
No.
At that point of time, the owner will be thinking, when can I ask these people to leave?
Where I can start my own. Yeah.
Okay, whether you can do it on your own or not, but you are not happy with that, no?
Exactly.
You are not happy with that. So, see, a viable, sustainable proposition is that where both partners should be happy in their own way. I don't need to get all the money from you. For what we work, if we are getting this much is fine with us. We find it at other places. Whereas for you, what you get through us should be 10 times more. That is what we want. In this scenario, you will never want us to go. You will never want to part. This is why we call our partnership as marriage. So marriage is done not because you think that 2 years later, 3 years later, you divorce, no? So
I love the word partnership actually, as you said.
So it's about a sustainable development with a mutually beneficial partnership on a long run. Now, sir, you just look at our side of calculations. From the day one, we are spending 12 lakhs bare minimum. Okay, 6 lakhs bare minimum is we will choose only that hospital. If that hospital doesn't have 6 lakhs, we usually don't partner with them.
Okay.
See, we are spending money on them. Now, when you take like that, every month 6 lakhs initially, and then maybe even if it is little less, but by the time we actually come to the breaking even point, we would have spent at least 1 crore. And when the ICU becomes almost fully operational, occupied, and even if you think that every month we make 3 lakhs of net profit, to get our 1 crore back, how many years is required, sir?
Yes.
We need 3 years, sir, to come back, which means 2 years we will keep spending money, trying to develop the ICU and hospital, and then after that we start taking out our money. By the end of 5 years, we actually take back our money. That's all. There is no profit as such for whatever the efforts that we keep. That is why we always ask the partnering hospitals that our engagement should be at least for 5 years, bare minimum.
Okay.
And then, if we end up in loss, we have every reason to part as friends. But if we don't end up in loss, if we are in profits, we should not part. Because that is the time where we actually start making our own profits. But remember, even if we take 1 lakh, rest assured you will get 10 lakhs. That is how the equation works.
Okay.
Why? Because when we put 10-bedded ICU today, all our efforts will be to make the 10-bedded ICU into 20-bedded ICU in the next 3 to 5 years' time. But sir, rest assured, when we become 10-bedded ICU to 20-bedded ICU, you become 30-bedded hospital to 100-bedded hospital.
Okay.
That is how it works. So actually our target is not ICU, not, of course, they are incidental. Operating ICU is like a child's play for us. My team will take care of it. Okay, but making the 30-bedded hospital into 100-bedded hospital is actually our job. That's what we work.
That's wonderful.